Howdy guys, I'm AutoEdits Jason, and we are in the middle of Washington State, and we are doing the backcountry discovery route with Dirt Lifestyle Nate and David Oliver from Willamette Motor and Fab. This is day 9 on the trail, but I thought I'd take you guys through our campsite and show you the rigs and the campsite. All right, first up, we'll just stop here at David Oliver's truck. This is Willamette Motor and Fab. Tell us a little bit about your truck. What do we got going on here?
Oh, hey, so my name's David. This is my 1985 Suburban, of which there's only a little bit of 1985 left, but the short story is my dad bought this new, and I grew up in this truck, and then it became my first car, and I've just modified it pretty thoroughly throughout. So it's got a diesel and a 4-speed and a 4-speed transfer case, and big axles and big tires and all that stuff. And the fun part about this truck is it's meant to go places I've never been and just do it without a whole lot of drama. It's a whole lot of fun, sentimental to me. I love driving this thing, so.
What are the axles under the thing?
Okay, so it's a 1-ton running gear from the 80s, which means a 60 front and a 14 rear. And that's all pretty much built up with 488s and Detroit, so it's really, really dead simple. No selectable, no air, no electronics, mechanical lockers, they're always on. You can debate whether that's good or bad, but I went simple on that part of the build. For the suspension, it's big long leaf springs from later model Chevy stuff, custom from Off-Road Design. And then on the front, again, Off-Road Design and a coilover kit. Really good steering, and it just takes the truck into like the 21st century in terms of how it's supposed to ride and drive. It's been fun to huck this thing around on the trail, trying to keep up with yours truly right there. And the truck does it, you know, pretty all right for something that's 9,000 pounds.
Right. All right, so we are day 9 into this thing, as I mentioned a minute ago. We all have our certain responsibilities. Mine is the less of anybody. I have a cooler in mine, and I was like, I carry the condiments. That was my job. I was pretty lucky.
This guy carries the beer.
Oh yeah, the beer and the condiments. So yes, okay, that's important for some of us on the trail. What else are you responsible for, and what is this rig packed with?
Okay, so my personal gear, Jake, the other guy that's tenting with me, his personal gear, our dry goods cooler, which is just a Yeti, right, filled with all the stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated. Our crew tent, right? So the gazebo and the tent, all the stuff for making coffee, can't leave that behind. Then also I carry a chainsaw, the fire pit, 2 propane tanks, air compressor, my tools, all the stuff to get basically from Texas to here and back. And then, you know, my fair share of crew gear. So lots of stuff, but it's a Suburban and we can carry everything.
Awesome. So since it's day 9 of this trip, we have a kind of a routine going. This is the gazebo. Now Nate brought this gazebo, we've been calling it. What else we call it?
The yurt.
The yurt. It's got a lot of names. Yeah. But this is a really cool common thing when you have a bunch of people in camp. It's the big one. So we all just kind of gather in here. And believe it or not, Nate brought a projector. We've been watching movies on this trip. We're in the middle of nowhere at Washington watching, let's see, what do we got? Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
What else?
National Treasure?
National Treasure 1 and most of part 2, but we got really tired last night. End of the day, trail day. Some of these days are hard. Wait until you see the video on Dirt Lifestyle Nate's channel. It's gonna be amazing. This is an intense and an incredible trip. But let me bring you inside this thing and show you. Normally the fire pit set up, but it's a little bit early. We're losing a bit of light. So that's my job. That's one of my jobs. So I'll set up the fire pit. So he's got a propane fire pit right here, propane tank. I think this is a giant bag of ribeye steaks that we're gonna eat for dinner tonight. And let's go inside. So you can see inside here, plenty of room. We'll bring in all our chairs. This is where we all hang out. We'll cook dinner, just kind of chill out, and then we'll just project the movie on a screen over there. It's been amazing. So that's camp from the common area, or the gazebo. And now let's go check out Nate's setup. Here we are, Dirt Lifestyle Nate. Nate.
Howdy.
Talk to us a little bit about your rig and the setup here that you have.
All right, this is a 2021 Toyota Tacoma. It started life as a Tacoma Tier D off-road, and now, I mean, it's still technically that, but I've put a lot of work and done a lot of changes to it, obviously, from stock.
When you get to camp, what do you do to get ready for bed?
So this is a iCamper Mini. It fits perfect on a stubby bed like this. So it opens up quick. I've got a heated blanket up there that is always in there. And then I hook this into my Jackery every night because I like to be warm when I sleep. It's a custom bed from a company called Bowen Customs. We worked together for about 10 months trying to figure out something that worked perfect for this. And so what I determined is I needed to get a really good departure angle. So I cut 18 inches out of the frame, built a cross member, and then they built a custom bed for it, all out of aluminum. So even though it's got all these different boxes and all this utility, it's only about 280 pounds, which is pretty wild. And then with the tent only being 125, it drives like a stock truck. You don't even notice that it has all this extra stuff back here because everything's so lightweight.
Now, talk to us a little bit about, he's shooting the video. So when it's available, the link will be in the description. He's shooting it was his idea. This whole thing is his fault. This is where he lives up here. And it's the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route. And tell us a little bit how you came up with that and what we're doing here.
Yeah, so I discovered the BDRs. I had heard about them like almost 10 years ago. It's been a while. And then I really started to get on them and actually do the trails like 2 years ago. And so ever since, I've been wanting to do the entire Washington BDR in one section, or all in one shot. There's 6 sections, and I have played around on section 1, 2, and 3. But on this trip, we've done 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and right now we're on 1. It's been almost 10 days. 10 days tomorrow. And so now it's on the last day. We're going to the wire. So we've got like 120 miles of off-road to just be blazing. And so that's the plan. The plan is to do the whole trip. We've been videoing the entire thing, and it's going to be a wild edit, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
What about, like, this is a funny one from content creators. What are you doing right now? This is one of the things that people don't realize. Yeah, people don't realize how much work goes into this video. I got lucky. I'm doing a campsite video for this, and I'll do some after stuff, but this production will be on Dirt Lifestyle Nate's channel. So it's just Dirt Lifestyle on YouTube. Yep. And show us one of the things when he shows up to camp, we're all done. We crack a beer, sit by the propane fire pit. He has to actually finish working. Show us a little bit about, do you mind showing us a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine. So every day whenever I get to camp, I open up the tent, I clear the fridge out of the bed, and I set up and start working. So we're working all day because we're shooting all day, but I've got a whole bunch of extra work once we get to camp. So it's just downloading all the cards. You know, I've got a camera that's permanently mounted on a gimbal. I've got a really nice handheld that we get slow-mo with, that we get really good cinematics with. And then I've got 2 drones, one's in 5.4K, one's in 4K. So I've got all these huge downloads that we have to do every single day. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I just plugged in to the Jackery here. I'm about to start the download segment of my day. And some days it's quick, it's like 30 minutes. Other days it's a couple hours. It just depends on what we saw. I think today is gonna be a long one because, I mean, man, we stayed really far away from here. We covered a ton of amazing ground, and I got some outstanding footage. So that's something I definitely want to go over with you tonight, checking out all this mudslinging we've been doing.
Can you explain a little bit of why you decided to go, so the backcountry discovery routes, several states have them. Washington has a pretty remarkable one because of just the natural terrain. Why did you choose to run it in reverse? Like, it's one starts down in Portland, right where we end, ending in 6 at the Canadian border. We actually started at the Canadian border at 6 and worked our way back down here. There's a really good reason.
Well, there's a couple actually. So one would be, I thought that we were going to run into the hardest parts at the northern sections because it's the closest to Canada. It's the highest elevations of the entire trip. And so I was like, if we're going to have to burn through a bunch of days to like get through these harder sections, then we can finish on the easier ones. It's kind of been a mixed bag. So we were supposed to have tons of snow on section 6, 5, and 4. We had some on 6, which you'll see in the video. We had to build a road. But other than that, there hasn't been hardly any. And I'd say today on section 1, we've seen more snow on the roads than all the other sections combined. So you just never know. It's the mountains. It's different all the time. But anyway, reason number 2 is that from a storytelling aspect, I wanted to just like right out of the gate, you click on this video and you see tons of action, tons of crazy views. And so that's why I was like, let's do it backwards. We'll do section 6, we'll work our way down all the way to 1, and then this also opens the door for the possibility of us continuing all the way down to Mexico one day. So there's an Oregon BDR that we can do, and then hopefully one day there's gonna be a California BDR. And so over a few years, we can basically go from Canada to Mexico, with most of that being off-road. That's very exciting for guys like us.
Jake, introduce yourself and show us your digs.
Thank you. I'm Jake from PowerStop. This is my rig. It has 4 less wheels than all the other rigs, but it still ends up making it to each camping spot every night. This is where me and David sleep. It gets pretty chilly at night, and you'll see here that David elected the strategy to move his cot towards the center of the tent for warmth, and I elected to stay on the end and put on 4 pairs of socks.
How's it been working out, like in the different terrains that we've been going to? What is your experience over the week? We are, again, reminder, day 9 of this. This is one of the longest times I've been living out of my Jeep at one time. What about you? Like, have you been out on trail for
I've never done anything this long.
Yeah, it gets to be a thing past 5. Day 5 is when you're like, all right, we're really out here. We're doing the thing. Okay, so explain a little bit of how the week has gone for you.
At first, it was a pretty rude awakening, because the first night it was freezing rain. But after that, it was totally fine. I mean, you get in a groove, you just throw on a bunch of layers of clothes. My sleeping bag's rated for 15 degrees. We haven't hit that yet, thankfully. Tonight should be a little warmer, but yeah, me and David have been perfectly fine keeping each other warm in here.
So Jake instituted a shoe off, shoe on policy.
Only in the front 2 feet of the tent.
Yeah, the alcove by the door. We decide where the door is and says that's the in and out.
It's a 10-strike policy, and after that you get a verbal warning. We've got a good system going of how to pack up and tear down. These tents honestly are super great.
Super easy.
Nate was the best for bringing both the Gazebo
Thanks, Nate.
tent over there.
No problem, happy to help.
Without him, we'd be on the cold ground.
And now for where I sleep and my camps for the nights on this whole trip. And it's, of course, in my JK. And I have, I think, the easiest setup because I've been sleeping inside the Jeep. Check this out. So what I do is I just have my sleeping bag kind of rolled up right here. And so I pull that forward, put my bags here that need to be there. And then when I come to camp, put those bags in the front seat over there. And then boom, I sleep here. The only thing you have to do is find level ground. It's been pretty rad. And I can tell you that it's been extremely comfortable. I have a tough time sleeping, and this has been really nice. And so, here, check this out. You can see Jeep's been hammered pretty good. It's been so dirty. Today was one of the muddiest days. Watch this. Yeah, that's how muddy it is. It has been an incredible journey. Thank you so much, Jake from PowerStop. PowerStop Brakes has sponsored this video, not this video, but the PowerStop Trail video that Nate's editing. So they helped, they paid for fuel and stuff. And so it's been amazing to be able to do something like this and share these things with you guys. So make sure to like, subscribe, and then look for the link to the video on Nate's channel, Dirt Lifestyle Nate. Let me bring you into the back here. Here's how I have the back set up right now. So since my sole responsibility on this trip was to be the guy, like I hold, let's put the top up here. So you guys, if you watch the channel, you know I put the truck top on right before we left and the stock doors, and I'm super glad that I put the stock doors on this thing because as you can see, the mud has just been incredible. And I'm glad to have those doors on there now. I think the core doors would have been fine, but it's just nicer to have the stock doors and the glass. Oh my gosh. And so here's the back of the sleeping bag and what I sleep on. I actually just put a spare sleeping bag there. If it's too cold, I put this on top of this one. But right now I just use this little blanket on top of my bag. And then one of these little hiker pads, and that's about it. And then the cooler, of course, don't mind me, the inside of all of our vehicles is an absolute mess because at day 9, like my laundry's not in a bag anymore. And look, like you just start, everything just starts becoming, you know, you just wear your clothes as long as they just, like, if you have to get up and catch them in the morning because they're running away from you, then you know, oh, it's probably I should put some fresh clothes on. And so it's been a long, good trip. But here, check this out. So inside the fridge, we got yogurts for breakfast, the condiments, we got the importance of a couple of beers over there. I think there's some healthy food up in there. There's like some granola or something. It's been an incredible trip in the food department because both David and Nate cook amazing trail food. So we've been inside the common area, inside this tent over here on a little fire pit, and we've been cooking up ribeyes, kielbasas, I mean, all kinds of amazing food on the trail. We have not starved at all. Amazing breakfast scrambles with eggs and cheese and sausage and all kinds of stuff. Oh, matter of fact, David brought some venison. It's been a great trip. So tomorrow we run the last of segment 1, and then I will head home back to LA and continue on. So hopefully we'll see you guys on the follow-up videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your drive. Hopefully as much as I'm enjoying this one. Thank you.